So far we've covered how to fill line art in with solid colors and gradients, but you can also use textures that you can import, for example, a JPEG. Now watch this, I'm going to change the sails to metal, and we're going to do that by going to our color palette. Make sure you have your properties open, and then what we're going to do is go to our contextual menu right here, and we're going to choose where it says color, add texture. Now on my desktop, I have a metal texture, metal 07 JPEG that I got from the internet. And I'm going to go ahead and click open. The texture is then added to the bottom of the color palette. Of course, you can always rename this if you want to. So I just double click on the name. I'll just call it metal sail, because we're going to color our sails with this color instead of the yellow that's here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit too, so we can really see that. And I'll grab my paint bucket and click in the sails. Now you know that's cool. Now there's something interesting I want to show you, by the way. You don't just have to stick with the color that's given to you, or rather the size of this texture. What you can also do is you can determine the scale interactively. For example, if I click here and drag my mouse, I can determine how much this texture is going to repeat. You see that? So I can go ahead and drag out really big like this and get these tiny scales, or I can go real small to make it even larger like that. Or if I want to, I can click once again to go back to the full size. So you can always change the direction, and you can also change how the texture is going to go in there by simply clicking in there yourself and moving it around. Likewise, what you can do is edit your texture. So I'm going to go ahead and close that for now, and I'm going to zoom out. And what we can do is we can choose the texture editor tool, which is right here, edit texture, and I can click on the object that has that texture in there. And let me just zoom or scale around a little bit so we can see what we're doing. And I can interactively change the texture using the handles. So you can add a different feel to your artwork altogether by bringing in textures from the internet or anything that you scanned in to give your artwork a different flavor, a different feel, instead of just having solid colors. So once again, all you have to do to bring in textures is go to your properties, and then in your color palette, choose the contextual menu, go to color, and choose add texture. Find the texture that you want to bring in, and then it will appear at the bottom of your list. Double click to rename it, and then add it to your artwork.